the vision is yet for an appointed time. But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
Eventually what's happening is that we are being led bit by bit to ultimately having within our bodies an RFID chip.
Everything is done in stages. After the RFID goes in the card and in your passport, it's going to go into your body. That's what they're going to try and do. You won't be able to live without it. All your money is going to be in that mesh. It's going to be a cashless society.
It was around this large and would be implanted under your skin. So that is the plan.
There's a new economic system coming, and indeed there is a plan to number every person on the earth by means of injecting under their skin in either their right hand or their forehead a microchip, such as the ones we're holding in our hands as displayed in these plastic boxes, and this is the scanner to read the ID.
People are going to be tracked from the cradle to the grave with microchip implants that digitally store everything there is to know about them, including their finances and their ability to make transactions.
You're no longer going to need cash to buy your groceries, to buy whatever you want, unless you have the chip in your hand, the mark of the beast.
I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the topic that I'm sure all of you are thinking right now, which is you've got these, you're hearing about spaceships implanted in bodies.
I think that it's going to be a point where everyone's fish at some point.
And there's going to be something. It might not all be the same mesh. Some people will have a cognitive implant. It's to the point where we just put it in our body.
Many of these things will be built directly into our
This is the mark of the beast.
Also consider how technology has changed in the last 50 years. Certainly, all these elements combined, I don't think this is a technology, I don't think these are possibilities that we can easily dismiss. Equally, cosmetic surgery has shown us that people will undergo extremely invasive procedures. And we already have technologies like the mobile phone, for example, which I would argue is not optional. It's not possible to interact in society in a meaningful way by not having a mobile phone. I think human implants are likely to go along a very similar route. It would be such a disadvantage to not have the implant that it essentially becomes not optional. Now, it would be terrible of me to come here today and talk about these fantastic opportunities that the future holds without giving you the possibility to experience it for yourself. So if anyone fancies being on the receiving end of a particularly nasty looking needle and you want your own RFID implant, then absolutely feel free to come up and have one. Okay, maybe at the end.
Of course, the real worry is that this is the opening of Pandora's box. Do you think to some extent the planting of chips in human bodies is, if you like, the kind of next stage, albeit speeding it up considerably, of human evolution?
I don't think it's a necessary step. That's the honest answer. I don't favour it myself because I think as soon as we do that, we've crossed the line a little bit too much between human and machine. What fascinates me is that we complain that we now are too hackable or trackable in terms of our privacy, but that will go up 100% when we start implanting things into human bodies.
It's a pretty frightening view of the future, it seems to me, and you seem to be agreeing with me too.
Yeah, I don't find that comfortable at all. In fact, one of the reasons I've done so much media on cashlessness is that that's the next stage of cashlessness. In a logical sequence of events.
Right, so no cards, it's not going to be banging cards. You're going to have a chip in your body and you'll be able to wave your thumb. And you don't think that's a good idea. A lot of our listeners will be worried about that. Why should we be?
Well, as I said, for one thing, we become, your smartphone is trackable, it's hackable, but you can leave it in the bedroom drawer. You can't do that with a chip in your skin. Also, someone can steal my my cash without doing me physical injury, or even my card. But they can't do that with an implanted subcutaneous chip. They have to do me some sort of violence.
I've got Steve going mad inside, because one of the things he's concerned about, and I can understand why. I mean, I got my mobile phone mugged off me the other week by a collection of idiots. But it's one thing to steal someone's card. I mean, we could find ourselves in a situation where people are slicing each other's hands off to get to their chips, right? Is that right?
Well, that's the point. I mean, if it's under your skin, you have to gouge it out in some way, right? And so we end up with all sorts of, and cash doesn't carry any data, right, but these chips do. And so once your ID becomes open to theft at a whole new level, right, simply because we've decided to, for what seemed like a good reason in the first place, to cede part of our humanity to technology.